Hi, my name is Chris Bailey and I'm an instructional coach with SREB. Our CTE programs are tasked with creating new career pathways that will help students explore and train for the high skill, high wage, and in-demand jobs of today and tomorrow. But determining what career pathways to offer, as well as designing and implementing those pathways, can be a very daunting process. Today, we're going to help you define your CTE destinations and set the GPS. We hope to take you through a simplified trip of steps to creating great pathway starts. We're going to take you through these steps in creating career pathways in the same fashion we would plan a vacation. If we think of our pathways as maps to careers, we should be able to set our GPS coordinates for destinations that will ensure successful and meaningful career options for our students. First, we're going to chart our course and consider your CTE program's purpose and goals. Clearly outline the objectives you aim to achieve through your CTE program, considering the needs of students, industry partners, and the community. You'll want to choose your destination wisely. What does the comprehensive local needs assessment tell us? Where are the high wage, high skill, and in-demand careers that people will reasonably drive to? Not just those in your city or community, but those within a 60-mile radius. Then, does labor market projection numbers really support the need? Just because there's a 75% increase may only mean that there's 3 people needed in the next 10 years. So look at those numbers closely and examine where those projections are. Then check out 2 organizations in your community or in your area, the Economic Development Office and the Chamber of Commerce. These are great organizations to partner with to find out what businesses may be knocking on their door to locate operations in your area, but also those businesses that are already in your area that are looking to expand. We're going to gather our travel essentials now, and we're going to secure some stakeholder involvement. As we plan for any trip, we ask for recommendations on how to get there and where are the best places to eat and sights to see along the way. In planning a career pathway, involving the right stakeholders first and seeking their feedback on a regular basis will help us identify the smoothest highways to good pathways. Having these stakeholders on board before the trip will also eliminate barriers and unexpected detours on our journey. We recommend that you involve your advisory councils, industry partners, post-secondary partners, administrators, and counselors. Then we're going to set some coordinates. In other words, every pathway has highways, byways, intersections, and exits. And we need to figure out how we're going to get there from here. So have we looked at what the course progressions are? Does the pathway allow for multiple levels of rigorous instruction? And not only just multiple levels of rigorous instruction, but how are we going to involve our middle schools and even our elementaries in awareness and exploration of those careers as they begin to progress to secondary? What are some work-based learning opportunities that students will have? Will students be able to progress from career awareness to career exploration to career preparation and to training, all through various work-based learning opportunities? And then what are the opportunities to partner with your post-secondary institutions? Is there alignment of post-secondary programs, or could there be a joint venture between the secondary and the post-secondary programs to create a new pathway to meet the needs of a community? Then we also want to consider those on and off ramps. Those on and off ramps that help us with career mobility, and that is those stackable credentials and certifications. What are those areas that students are going to be able to achieve as they progress along a pathway? Now, buying a bus and suitcases. When we're planning a trip, how often do we really consider the number and which suitcases and vehicles we're going to use? Sometimes if we're going to take a cross-country trip, it's going to take more than a duffel bag to pack. Well, the same question applies to pathways in considering the type of facilities and equipment that will be needed to provide students with the right experience. We may need to buy a new bus and new suitcases to accommodate the trip. Some questions that you really ought to ask is there a classroom or laboratory space available? Is the laboratory space large enough to safely accommodate students, tools, and equipment? And does the electrical capacity of the space meet the electrical requirements of the equipment and tools? There's nothing like having a room full of 110-volt outlets and needing 220 or 440-volt electricity. So consider those things, as well as is there space for growth as future technologies are needed. Now, we all know that one of the most precious commodities in the education climate is finding a teacher now. But in today's educational climate, it's hard to find the potential teachers with the right skills. We got to hire the right bus driver. Just because a person has ridden a bus or seen one on TV doesn't mean they can teach others how to drive. So having a qualified teacher with the right technical knowledge will not only strengthen the pathway, but it will also enhance the student's learning. Then we have to equip that teacher with the right pedagogical skills to enhance their instructional effectiveness in the classroom. 99% of the time, we're pulling a person straight out of the industry into a classroom environment that they've never experienced except as a student. And so we want to make sure that we give them the tools and the experience, or give them the right pedagogical skills in order to help them become a very effective teacher. So ask yourself these things. Does the person have the right technical knowledge? Does the person have an industry experience? Does the person have teacher or mentor potential? That's a great one to think about. Do they have the teacher or mentor potential? And then, does the district have the right constructs to support the pedagogical needs of the teacher? Now, if you're going on a trip, shiny new bus, a great bus driver, new suitcases, new clothes, everything's wonderful. But if you don't have gas to put in the bus, you're not going anywhere. So one of the things that we want to consider is buying gas for this bus on this pathway. Has your budget been examined for sufficient consumable and supply needs of the course in the pathway? You know, new welders are wonderful for students to stare at, but there's no electrodes or wire to use them. It's not a great experience. It's not just about the gas to start the trip, but it's also to continue that trip over and over and over. Sustainability is a key component to building any pathway. Sustainability of consumables, supplies, equipment needs, all of those need to be examined each budget cycle. Now, to ensure a smooth journey, we need to make sure we're establishing some strong industry partnerships. We want to forge those relationships with industry partners to collaborate with local businesses and organizations that are going to provide students with internship opportunities, mentorship programs, and real-world projects. Don't forget that anytime we take a trip, we need to fill the seats. But it's not only about filling the seats on the bus, but it's getting the right students on the right bus. We can do this through through career interest surveys, but also there are aptitude surveys that work even better in conjunction with those interest surveys to determine not only what a student may be interested in, but maybe what they will be good at. And so consider giving students those types of surveys and assessments in order to determine which students may be potential high flyers in these pathways. Then make sure we promote these pathways, promote them to the parents, promote them to the students, and promote them to other counselors. It's imperative that those three groups know what these pathways are about, what types of things are involved, what are the things that a student can accomplish out of these, also that they can get the right experience in these pathways. Promotion, promotion, promotion. Then we want to prepare the ride and prepare for the ride and equip students with the essential skills. So we want to make sure that we're integrating technical skills, but also soft skills. Those soft skills is the technical skills get us hired, soft skills get us fired. So we want to make sure we're teaching those soft skills within these pathways. Equipping those students with the technical skills required for their chosen career path, while also fostering essential soft skills like communication, teamwork, and problem solving, will enhance that student's ability to work in a pathway or to get a successful or a meaningful job in that pathway. Routine maintenance. You know, you can't take a trip without changing the oil every once in a while in your vehicle. And so think about these things as far as continuous program evaluation and making sure that you're putting you're making the necessary corrections, additions, and modifications as you're going along. Implement a comprehensive program evaluation plan. Regularly assess the effectiveness of your CTE program, gathering feedback from stakeholders, and make those data-driven improvements that are needed on a just-in-time basis. And if your advisory councils are essential to this program's success, be sure to have the right people in the right seats on your advisory council as well. Recognize once we get on this trip and we're on our vacation, we're on our pathway, one of the greatest things is reaching the destination. And the destination here is celebrating success and sharing best practices. As students matriculate through the pathway, recognize and celebrate their achievements, showcase their accomplishments in the CTE program and their accomplishments of the students that are there, highlight their success in gaining employment, their CTSO involvement, highlight them pursuing further education or achieving their personal goals. Show the successes of the program and celebrate those on a regular basis. Then lastly, we want to make sure that you're embarking on a transformative CTE journey. So by approaching CTE program development as well as a well-planned trip or well-planned vacation, you're going to be able to navigate the process effectively, ensuring a rewarding and transformative journey for students, industry partners, and the community as a whole. We hope that you have enjoyed just learning some of these very simple steps of starting a pathway and getting the right things in order before you embark on the journey. I want to thank my colleagues, Chuck Boyd, Deborah Lamoth, and Danielle Morton for contributing to this presentation, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you.